Hello everyone, this is JPL, and today I'm joined with...
Christopher!
Yes, and we're a podcast name in brackets. Hello, Christopher.
Hello, John.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine. I am still a little, because I just kind of took a small nap.
So are you telling me you're tired?
A little bit. But due to the nap, I think I should be awake. So
Okay.
that hopefully won't be a problem. But I am tired. That is true.
Okay, yes.
We'll see, man.
Nothing has changed.
Changed.
Yes. I'm doing good too. We both just ended shows, is that correct?
No, our show will go on through the last day of December. However, we've been doing 11 show weeks.
Okay.
This is the last week of our run that we're doing 11 shows. So,
okay.
If it wasn't for Thanksgiving next week, it would have been 11 shows. But because we have Thanksgiving Day off, it'll be 9 shows next week.
Okay.
That'll be nice. Or nicer.
Well, we here have this next week off for Thanksgiving, so...
The whole week?
The whole week.
Yay!
I have the whole week to finish late work and get things done for what's due the day after the break. So that's fun.
Remember when they only gave us like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday off or something?
Yeah.
That was ridiculous. It's just like, why?
Yeah, I mean, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I think was pretty much just the fall break that we had.
Yeah,
I think they switched it on us. Like, fall break used to be like more of a week long, and Thanksgiving just 2 days.
I'd rather have the full week off for Thanksgiving. Not because I'm such like a Thanksgiving stickler, but it's just the fact that so many people want to celebrate family during that time. That's the perfect time to come home for the week.
Yeah, and it's also like right at the perfect time where everyone is just so tired that they need that long week. And it can also be a bit of an inconvenience because it's like the week after we're getting ready for finals.
Oh, wow. Didn't think about that.
Yeah, let me think about... Yeah, so the week after, we have 1 week, and then the next week is finals.
Wow. I'll be straight up honest, though. Yes, my life is tiring right now, but I'm so glad I'm done with school. I'd rather have this over school.
Good for you.
I like the college atmosphere. I miss that. I'll be honest. But I don't miss the work at all.
Oh, of course. I'm excited for next semester, especially because it means that I'll be done with the Moss.
Yay!
Yes, because this semester is my last semester that I have a class in DeMoss, and I'm happy because these past few semesters, it's been the most inconvenient classes to go to because it's always just one class at 2 o'clock, 2 to 3:30, something like that, and then my last class of the day. And I always have to wait like an hour or two before that class, so it's such an inconvenience. Just go there, wait hours, doing nothing, and then take the class, not really care. And then, yeah, I'm glad to be done with that.
Yay. Have you been making something that you might not be super familiar with, but they're called Friends?
Oh, I mean, sure. I guess so. I mean, we'll see.
I hope you can, especially since we're not there anymore.
It's more so like I'm getting the chance to know people that I know already more. So, yeah, that's mainly what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm meeting like the new fresh blood people, but you know how it goes. Like, you don't really see them often, and yeah, like freshies.
Oh my god.
So you don't see them often until you do. So
yeah,
because that's how that works.
Amazing. Yeah. So, are you spending Thanksgiving alone, I guess?
Yes, I am. My people are gone.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna grab some lunch with a couple people this week,
Okay.
just so I'm not bored out of my mind. But no, this next week I'm glad to take a break, but I'm also excited about the stuff that I'll be doing.
Yeah.
Like homework wise, I'll be finishing off my play, which will be fun.
Mm-hmm.
I have a makeup design project, which is fun because of what the design is that I'm excited for. So I'll send you those images when I'm done with that.
And then I'll invite you to go to the hospital again.
Especially after this one, because that.
I'm pretty positive it's going to be like a chest wound or something.
We're past wounds.
Oh, okay. I have no idea.
We're going to need some serious genetic people on this when I'm done.
So are you going to be an alien?
We'll find out, won't we?
Oh, okay.
Let's just say I'm making a couple purchases.
For those of you in the future listening to this audio podcast, here's a picture of John.
Yes.
Look at that. All right, now back to
the
podcast.
Looks good. Yes. And so I'm excited to be doing that. You know, it's even though it is work and assignment, the idea that I have is fun, and I can't wait to start working on that.
Awesome.
But yeah, I just finished working on the show, The Little Moon of Albin.
How did that go?
It went well on my end. It was fine. It was good. Apparently, a lot of people really enjoyed it. So
good.
It's hard to tell when you're up in the booth. Can't really hear what they're saying. You're just focused on sound effects and music.
Mm-hmm.
It gets boring at times, but you know.
So sometimes my brain just does not remember whenever we have a new episode releasing because it just doesn't.
Okay.
It's because I like to try to share every episode on my Instagram.
I know, because you shared the 100 episode.
I did.
A week later than it came out.
Yeah. Like that whole first week, it was on my brain, like during the show, like, oh, I want to share John's episode, but I'm not near my phone right now, and I'm not going to get to my phone for 20 minutes. Oh, well, I'll try to get it, and I don't remember.
You know, it's fine. I don't know. There was really much you could have done. The reception was not as much as I would have liked it to be.
Yeah. I wanted to kind of try to listen to it, but you obviously know I didn't.
I know you didn't. But, you know, for one full week, there was only ever one view for this special thing. And the last thing that I uploaded was Thursday, has 6 views already.
Mm-hmm.
Even though that is a much shorter episode, it's also but that's an episode that I could just delete, never care to release. And that's got more views than the thing I put my heart into for a whole year.
Right.
So, there you go.
I thought you didn't do it for the views. But no,
I don't do it for the views, but you do know when something special happens, you want that to be special. And it wasn't.
Right.
So.
Yeah. No, I get it. Those moments are rough.
Yeah, we'll find. It'll be special in 10 years when people look back and be like, "Wow, episode 100 must be a special episode." It's called the 100th episode special.
So you are not in any more shows this year, correct?
Not at the capacity that I was in this show. I will be helping out with the next show. To what extent, Not much. Probably just changing batteries and hanging around.
Okay. Are you going to audition or apply or whatever for a show next year or not?
No.
So you'll just be helping the way you normally are?
I will, the way I'm doing with my job. I don't want to take on a show next semester because it's going to be important next semester of getting the work done.
Mm-hmm.
And I know consistently every time I start during a show season, I suffer. Like my grades are late all the time. Like my teachers, they can vouch for that because I have the same teachers every semester, and they know the exact time period. It's always, stuff like that. So yeah, I don't want to. What?
Would you audition for an acting role?
It really depends on the shows.
Okay.
Because I'm not really interested in any of the shows next semester to act in, except maybe the student lab shows.
That's fair.
Because the student lab shows aren't really part of the full academic season. I mean, they are, but they aren't. They're not for a class. You just do them for fun with the other people. And depending on what shows they have, because some of the people in my playwriting class are maybe doing their play for that, and depending on which play that is, I might want to do that.
So to follow up with something we talked about a month ago. SonicCon.
Oh, yeah, that. Yes. Yeah, that happened yesterday.
You want to recap about that?
So we have had news in the past couple of days that the actor Will Ryan has passed away, who was a prominent role in Adventures in Odyssey. And about a month ago, less than a month ago actually, was SonicCon. And I had noticed, if you can get full detail on this, like if you watch that episode, but I had noticed that the members of Adventures in Odyssey you could tell that something was going on behind the scenes. Will Ryan was scheduled to appear at the event, but he canceled the week before. And when the other people who attended the event were asked why, there was, let's just say, some uncomfortable feelings that what they said wasn't explicit, but their body language was saying so much. And so we had talked about this, and our speculation was it's possible we might be losing a member. And unfortunately, it has turned out to be the case.
Even I'm surprised that I was right, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he was 72, which, obviously he's been around for 35 years, probably more or less, I don't know, around that range. So, I mean, well, like I mentioned, when I was interviewed for Odyssey, they said, we're looking to hire the next generation. And obviously that meant me, a sound designer. They're also hiring young writers. Unfortunately, that also means actors. We're on our third wit right now. We just lost Eugene. That is reality. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah.
It's like, it's a shame that, I noticed this beforehand. I was able to deduce and guess it. In one sense, I'm like, okay, I was right about something, but another it's like, yeah, but I was right about something, and they ended up being something big that I probably shouldn't have really talked about because it's more of a private matter. But yeah, that's what happened, and here we are.
Yep.
Will and Katie Lee, do you know that they have a YouTube channel together?
Something about that. Actually, I just received a Facebook notification, something that says the last word, Will Ryan. I wonder if he recorded something before his death, and if that's the case, wow,
I don't know what, but like they do have like a YouTube semi-podcast type thing that they were trying to promote and like get more followers to come. And so I'm subscribed to that thing. I haven't really watched anything, but I am curious what's going to happen because him and Katie were the two big figureheads of that one. So, yeah.
Yeah, it seems like he had like he recorded a goodbye message just recently, or not recently, released.
Yes. Let's move on.
Of course, John.
Of course. To this is the most awkward like segue. Okay. On to Spider-Man.
Worst at segues.
I am. Actually, I'm pretty good, but I'm bad at it too. Like I'm good at segueing just for the sake of segueing.
You're
not
good
so
at
much
steering.
making it
You're
flow so well. What's that?
You're good at steering. You're bad at segueing.
Yeah, I don't really care for segues. I like my car.
Left turn. Bam!
All right. Well, I guess we have no choice but to talk about Spider-Man.
Yeah. We don't want to talk. No.
Unless you want to talk about something else.
No. I mean, but let's talk about it.
Spider-Man?
Okay, so there were some people I saw, whether friends or people online, who said that they were disappointed in the trailer.
Okay.
And because I kind of think, I mean, it's more than just it not showing Garfield or Toby. I think just the trailer itself just felt so different from the teaser trailer.
Okay.
The teaser trailer seemed to set up this story, and then the trailer set up that story. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of.
Okay.
Which, in my mind, is a little surprising to me because in this trailer you got a decent look at the villains.
I was surprised at how much they actually showed of the villains.
Mm-hmm.
The big main event thing, which there's no denying that there is a big main event thing they're not showing, and we know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
More on that later, but
okay.
Yeah. They're two different trailers, but they're focusing on two different parts.
Yeah.
Of the things. The first trailer was more so telling us of the events after the last movie. Here's what's happened afterwards. This one is showing us, okay, here's more of the results of Peter's decision of the first trailer.
Mm-hmm.
I think it works that way.
I do too.
Instead of just rehashing more of the motivation of like, oh, I need to make the people forget.
And I think the motivation was clear enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, I have nothing to be disappointed about, except for, again, I don't like, the teenage group, how they're done, really. Like, there's like the way they're talking, they're so disrespectful to Doc Ock.
Okay,
like, dude, seriously, that's your name? That feels like such a stupid writing thing that I don't like.
I don't mind it. Because
I hate it. I hate it. It's one of the more cringiest things that I hate about this new Spider-Man is their forcement of that kind of humor that just under that situation would not be the case.
The Scooby-Doo line was
forced.
Cringy.
It is. It worked the first time. Like what he said, okay, yeah, that works. And then MJ's response.
Okay, I like MJ though.
I don't like MJ. Yeah, no, I don't really care.
Someone made a point online though that one of the things Spider-Man typically does is make fun of the villains' names. So
yes, but not that way.
Not that way. I would agree.
Yeah, because the way Spider-Man makes fun of a villain is while he's actually fighting the villain. Like here, he's like interrogating him in conversation, and it's a different setting about how he does the quipping lines. Mm-hmm. They're not the same way Spider-Man would do it. Especially now that he's working with a group, mm-hmm. It's not just Spider-Man; it's all three are doing that laughing thing. Mm-hmm. And that's just me. I don't like a lot of things, so.
I don't know, man. I like this MJ. I don't mind it. And again, this is essentially the high school trilogy.
Yeah.
Rumors. I've mentioned it probably a month ago, but like rumors are really bubbling this past week that they're developing a college trilogy. And honestly, with the events of this movie, is teased to be a shift in Tom Holland's Peter Parker.
Okay.
Whether it be the tone of the movies or his maturing of the character.
Mm-hmm.
So I think whatever the college trilogy. First off, I think I would like to hope and believe that this movie will make people respect the Holland character more. And I would like to think that the college trilogy will further that and probably,
respect the Holland character by having him need help from other Spider-Men to succeed.
No.
That is the case, though.
I not just of what I've heard, but also what I've observed from the trailers themselves. But Holland's going to be put through the ringer.
Oh, he will, yeah.
Whether he's Spider-Man or not.
We'll see.
And so I think, for one thing, we're probably going to have more sympathy for the character. But also, I think I'm going to hope that his reactions or responses to his situations is going to make us appreciate the character more, which is going to mature his character. And, we're going to be seeing a more mature side of him in the next trilogy.
If we even do the next trilogy. If we even do another full-on trilogy.
Let's hope so.
Like, they could just turn it into, a Disney Plus show or something like that. Although, no, I don't think they would, actually, because...
What the current rumor is saying is that, that if there's to be a trilogy, the other year would be a season of a Disney Plus show, and I don't know if that's Holland or this freshman year animated. But
well, here's what I say to that. I don't care because I have this movie coming up. I don't need to care about the other things that are doing until I see this movie.
That's fair. That's fair.
Don't tell me about another trilogy, while this one still hasn't ended yet.
That is fair.
Because there's already we already have that prequel series, freshman year thing, which I wasn't even thinking about college when you were saying it's like, oh, I thought it was a part of the college thing. It was like, oh yeah, that does make sense too. But freshman year just sounds more, given the context of like the 3 movies, it's like it's high school origin story.
Yeah,
which was definitely needed for the Spider-Man, for sure.
I will say though, like I'm kind of glad that Homecoming didn't go over the whole origin thing, because this was the 3rd iteration of Spider-Man in 20 years. You know what I mean? Of a live-action Spider-Man, and because I would like to think that with Garfield, they were hoping that would be the Spider-Man. You know what I mean? After Spider didn't really work out, essentially, they were hoping that Garfield would be the Spider-Man. And then that didn't work out. So it's like, well, why go through Uncle Ben and Spider-Bite for a 3rd time in 20 years? And so I think I'm in support of the animated series. Not just it being a series, but also it being animated. It's just like, okay, we'll fill in the gap. Why not? It doesn't hurt to.
Although, like,
for them to do it live action.
I'm not really excited about it being animated because given the results of how What If turned out, they're gonna write it like a cartoon, and not a good cartoon. Like, all the cringy lines and delivery just did not work in What If.
Oh, it really did.
And, like, that's pretty much how it's going to be with freshman year.
Especially considering the fact that they will be riding on the coattails of the Homecoming trilogy.
Yes.
Trilogy. And it's going to have that aspect that you just don't like, period.
Yeah, I might not even watch it.
Oh, I think you will eventually.
No, for a long time, because I still haven't even watched the last animated Spider-Man series. So,
which one? The 2021 Spider-Man and his amazing.
No, the 2017.
Yeah,
one.
I know. I was messing with you.
Yeah. And I still haven't seen that one either. I don't really care, but yeah.
Well, the difference with this one is that it'll be MCU canon, so
I don't really care. I don't care. Mm-hmm. I don't care, Christopher.
Well, you care if there's Uncle Ben.
No.
Okay.
No, like, what about Uncle Ben?
Because his name went trending on Twitter after the show was announced, and they're like, "Oh, and Uncle Ben's going through it again."
Well, at least it's not the Wayne parents. They've died much more times than Uncle Ben at this point.
Is that Batman's parents?
Yes. Of course you wouldn't know.
Yeah.
I forget about you sometimes, Christopher.
Because the Superman's parents are on another planet.
I mean, there's that, and then there's his adoptive parents.
Are they alive?
Depends on which version you watch.
There.
Some versions.
Of that.
No, some versions they're both alive. I think most iterations the father dies. Spoilers. But there you go.
So how far did you get in CW, Hulu, can't remember the name.
Smallville?
Yes.
I watched 7 seasons. Watched the first episode of season 8. I'm just stopping right now because I don't have enough time in my subscription left to just finish it. So. There you go.
Anyways, were there other things about the trailer you wanted to highlight?
I mean, besides the infamous lizard kick, I love that shot. Just so many great memes, just about. Oh, I wonder what's going on there.
Oh yeah.
It's also like really strange to me, about how a mistake like that could come through.
I don't even know why there's a different edit for Brazil. You know what I mean? Just dub over the English version. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how that happened. Like, why was there even footage of the lizard being kicked given anyway? Like,
yeah.
So, no, like typically, some difference with how they're doing this. Like, because normally they will CGI someone else. I don't think that's what they're doing here. Because if that were the case, you would stop before the lizard gets hit.
So it's really interesting because I saw a tweet that said, "Oh, if this one part," and didn't mention what part in the trailer, but they cut it so well that just in a few seconds you would have seen Andrew. And that was probably further confirmed with the Brazil trailer of the lizard getting kicked like that.
Mm-hmm.
At first, I'm like, okay, person who knows everything, you might be right, but I don't know. And then that thing.
I don't know if that's the shot they're talking about, but okay.
I don't know either. Who knows?
Because I think they have those character models in layers. Like in Photoshop, you have the different layers of assets that you put in. I think they just removed the assets from the layers of that, and you just have the lizard being impacted its own layer.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't even notice when they sent it out, except for the editors in the US. They caught it and they didn't show because they're very meticulous versus the Brazilians. It's like, oh, we'll show all the footage.
Yeah. So, did you want to talk about said big thing?
Was there a big thing?
You said we'll talk about it later.
Yeah, I mean that was the lizard thing.
Oh, that. Oh,
well, like
okay. So,
particularly Andrew and Garfield are pretty much there.
Mm-hmm.
There was also that one frame that I showed you with the weird manipulation on the image. Huh? Beautiful job. Like, essentially, it's a single frame in the trailer where you could see something with a red arm and some kind of web shooting out of the arm that it looks like they tried to, like, I don't know, cut it out, but parts were still there. Mm-hmm. It was a strange looking image. It might not even be an actual thing, but it just looks so strange and looks so coincidental to not be a thing.
Mm-hmm. So,
there's the big shot of MJ falling, and Spider-Man coming to grab her, and you have that cool shot of them almost touching hands. But I'm seeing that and I'm thinking, well, something has to be written for that to be a way, because if he's just trying to grab her, then he's stupid because he has webs.
Yeah.
So they could write out that his webs got destroyed or he ran out conveniently, but I don't think he's going to catch her that way.
We'll find out.
Andrew. And I say Andrew because I know, like, people are saying it's like if Andrew rescues MJ, then it just gives Tom's Spider-Man like a chance to fail. But that's the thing about Spider-Man, is that when trying to catch the fallen people, he's supposed to fail. That's what happened with Gwen. Even though the first Spider-Man movie with Tobey, he did rescue MJ and the kids, but that's a different story.
Come on. It's not nice.
I mean, he's rescuing two people at once. And, he's better at that. Whatever. You showed me a bunch of TV spots.
Yeah. Did you get to see them or not?
I watched them, yeah. So I don't typically like watching TV spots because I think the trailer is enough to get me interested in seeing it. I don't need to watch any more re-edits of the same footage with just like 2 seconds. Especially since you sent me 9 or 8 different spots, and like half of them are just repeats but shown differently. So yeah, there you go. We get a better shot of the lizard. Great. So what?
Come on.
No. It's fine, but it's also like that's why I don't like watching TV spots, because they're just so much extra. You know, I don't want to go look for them.
No, I get that. Well, let me show you something.
Okay.
Show me. On Discord.
Show me.
So, well, first off, actually, let me preface.
Okay.
From what I'm hearing from sources that I've been able to trust, and it's hard to say sometimes because, you know, there are a handful of people who will say crap, you know. But there's a few that have said some things that have come out to be true. And they probably said it like way in advance, or they've been confirmed a few times by a few different people. Here are 2 things I'm seeing. Well, first off, let me preface that. I'm hearing the current edit of the movie is like 2 hours and 49 minutes.
I can believe that, yeah.
Yeah. All right, so I'm hearing that both Toby and Andrew have about 30 minutes of screen time. Now, there's a lot of shared screen time, but they essentially have about 30 minutes together on the screen. Here's the crazy thing about that. Loki has never been in an MCU movie for more than 30 minutes. I saw something, and I was really surprised to find out that a lot of his times average about like 15 to 20 minutes for each movie he's in. I was really surprised. So that means you're getting more of Toby and Andrew in a movie than you've ever gotten of Loki in a movie. Pretty awesome.
But that makes sense to me because in most situations, Loki is presented as the villain type character.
Yeah. But he's just such a prominent character. Or not just prominent, a popular character. It's still amazing to me how many fans he has. But yeah, I'm also hearing this. I just saw today, so we'll see. But also from one person I kind of trust, that Chubby and Andrew will enter in more around the halfway point ish of the movie. Because a lot of people are saying, "Oh my gosh, I will kill everyone if they just only appear for the final fight scene." And I'm like, there's no way they're gonna do that. Like, yes, they're gonna be in the final fight, but it's not like they're just gonna appear for the final fight. You know what I mean? That's just such a build up for nothing, kind of. You know, at least they're there, but that's not much. You know what I mean? You gotta have them in the movie for people to appreciate them being in the movie. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And so, and I bet they'll have time after the fight. But, you know, sometime even before the fight, it would be nice. And so, yeah. So that's pretty exciting in my book.
Sure.
You seem really excited, John.
I mean, we'll find out when we watch the movie, really.
Sure.
Because, you know, Suicide Squad, the 26th movie, they said that was like an hour and a half of footage of Joker. But there's no evidence of that, so.
He had like 2 minutes of screen time, I heard, right?
15, actually.
15?
But,
okay.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see.
So, at the end when Doctor Strange is like, I can't stop them all, or something.
Yeah.
And the sky is turning purple, like it did.
You know, it would make sense. Like, people are thinking, oh, our main Spider-Man are going to come from them. But, like, something like that tells me hundreds of Spider-Man villains coming through that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was thinking that, or I don't know about, I was thinking specifically villains. I didn't think about Spider-Man, but yeah, I think that's going to be like, oh my gosh, so many people are going to swarm the scene in that moment. It's going to be pure chaos.
That's going to be chaos, yeah. Animated Spider-Man start coming through. It's
yes.
like, whoa, they're animated. How?
Because in my mind, someone was saying, what if Miles Morales is in it? And I'm like, here's the thing. Maybe, but you're really... That's not going to have a big of an impact in this movie as you think it would. That at that point would be almost...
Here's the thing. Fans would be excited to see that. Casuals are like, oh, look, Black Spider-Man.
I don't know how I feel about that. You know? Like, already, like, your big reveals is, you know, Andrew and Toby. You know? Unless you have a really good setup, or if that... I don't know. Or unless that
I'd be excited even if I just see them swinging in the background. Like just
whatever.
Yeah, that's fine.
But if we're gonna have the fourth Spidey in the movie, like have a proper introduction for Miles Morales, I would think. If we want to introduce Miles Morales, you know.
I don't think it's that big of a deal. Because I think it's fine because it's done well in cartoons whenever they do this multiverse get together team because they don't have a lot of screen time, but you're interested in them because they're cool design and the new stuff. So it's not that important to me that other characters besides Andrew and Garfield have much detail given. I don't, because given their situation they might be in, they'd be like, oh, hey, look, villains, let's work together. Go. That's it.
Yeah, I don't know. I personally just wish it'd be 3 Spideys and the 5 villains. And because at the end, I know it's multiverse stuff, so I guess something could really break.
Why 4? Why not? What if that shot is actually 10 Spideys? It'd be so absurd, but it'd be like a step up from 3.
At that point, I just feel like it's just too much, you know?
Not for me.
I'm just like, you know, this is...
Like for me, it's like, okay, multiverse, this makes so much sense. To have much more than just 3.
If you think about it that way, yes, but I just feel like in terms of story, not really.
I don't see it that way.
Anyways, but there was something in the trailers that who knows what's going to happen. So, like, this is the shot we got in the original trailer. It looks like Doctor Strange is, you know, at the Statue of Liberty. The sky is turning purple. I can't stop them. But in the TV spot,
okay.
The TV spot for it, the sky looks very similar to that one scene when Peter and MJ kiss in the main trailer. Very-ish, similar-ish. AK, it's not nighttime, it's daytime. So, we'll see.
I mean, it's not a big deal to me, which is different.
And then...
Personally, I think that the purple one looks better.
Yeah, me too.
But...
And
that shot. Okay. That shot makes much more sense.
It does make more sense.
Because it's like, what are they doing in the desert?
Yeah, so this is the train. In the teaser trailer, we had Doctor Strange and Spidey on the train thing in the desert. In the TV spots, they're going through essentially like a mirror dimension-ish looking mess of things.
Interesting. No, what's interesting is like the costume.
Oh, what? Oh! I'm surprised he didn't even have his cape in the teaser trailer.
It's interesting.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah. We'll see. Oh, this is so entertaining for our listeners, by the way. Yeah, I'm just clicking wildly, and I'm like silently watching something. Yeah, we're looking at 2 images of Doctor Strange. One, he doesn't have a cape. One, he does have a cape. 2 different locations, but they look identical. They're, it's something. I don't know what it is, but it's something.
Mm-hmm.
Does it matter? Probably not. But there you go.
Man.
But yeah, it's more confirmation of stuff we already knew, that they just trick people in the trailers. Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited too. I mean, I want to go first thing. Like,
oh, I am too.
Yeah.
You know what? That Thursday night, we only have one show. We have an afternoon show at 3:30, and we get off at 6:30. That's more than enough time for me to
Yeah, I hope I have nothing going on. Yeah, my mother arrives on the 17th.
Oh, wow. So are you going to watch it with her?
I mean, we're definitely going to watch it together, but I want to see it earlier and then probably watch it again.
Awesome.
Unless yeah, I definitely would probably want to watch it with my mother just for her reaction.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, I also sent you screenshots, like, a while back ago. Like, leaks screenshots with, Daredevil, and then the one with the 3 Spideys.
Yes.
What are your thoughts?
I'm excited.
Do you think they're real?
Yes. I think I've seen a few things where it's like, oh, that lamp is in that room or whatever with the Daredevil photo. I mean, from what I've heard, Daredevil is in the movie.
Okay.
Probably not as Daredevil, but as, Charlie Cox.
Yeah, there's a bit more behind the story of these images by the person who uploaded them.
Yeah.
He thought they were fake.
Which, come on, then why would you share them? I mean,
because he just shares like, oh, here's a cool fake thing. Like, here's a what if, like what this would look like. He gets a message from his friend 5 minutes later. Says, hey, you should probably take those down because they might not be fake. And then he takes them down, but everyone already has screenshots. Later that day, he gets a call from a studio executive. And the conversation goes like, so, I'm going to assume that you thought those were fake. And that's what they said. It's like, oh, well, you just confirmed it. Mm-hmm. Oh, I also sent you this picture with a churro.
With the what?
With a churro, lifting weights.
What?
It's it's up on Discord. Just check it. He's checking, by the way. But no, the context for the image is I'm working on a video right now, and there's a moment where I'm talking about churros. And
way to transition.
Yeah, and that's an image that I created that I'm gonna use.
Like, what does a lifting weights and churro have to do with Spider-Man, John?
It didn't, but like I was scrolling back through Discord to find the images, and I saw my churro image, and I'm like, oh, okay. He never responded to that image, so.
Yeah.
Did you see the image?
Definitely now I have.
Now you have.
Which I bet I did, but it also just was, I was confused by it that I didn't say anything about it.
Basically, the context is like I'm talking about how there's a lot of like companies and some things that are trying to do churro flavored products, and that they're having a hard time recreating the churro flavor. However, when I was saying that in the video, I says like, wow, man, the churro recreation isn't that great. And so I was like, recreation? Oh, that's just okay. So I just created this image because
why not?
Why not? But anyway, Spider-Man is coming out. We're gonna watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Yada yada.
Mm-hmm.
Trailer manipulation. Who cares? Yeah, there's not much else to really say. I don't really want to go into the theories about what's gonna happen because I just want to watch the movie.
Okay.
I did message you and saying it's like, the Green Goblin mask. There's something odd about it, but I just think that it's just the way it looks in CGI because pretty much all the shots, most of the shots in the original Raimi one was like, that's just a practical thing. Here, they're manipulating a lot of things, and so it might not look as flawless as it did. But yeah. Let's move on to something else. Did you do the thing?
What thing? There are a bunch of things.
The music thing.
Yeah, let's talk about that. So, about 2 months ago, John did something he's never ever done before. He sent me some music to listen to. And I'm like, that's new, because I talked about music with John, and even like, oh, what if we talk about music on the podcast? And John's like, no. And then he sent me an album, and at first I'm like, I'm not going to make time to listen to Daft Punk. And then I'm like, you know what? John, if you're going to send me music, then let's talk about some music on the podcast. So, I apologize it took me so long. I was intending to listen to it earlier, but also I was expecting to be out of deck for another week, honestly. Mm-hmm. But I got better sooner, which put me on deck sooner, therefore less time to listen to music. Therefore, it kind of ruined my idea of when I was going to listen to Daft Punk. So I went ahead and listened to it earlier today. So the album you sent me was Random Access Memories, and you wanted. Why did you send me this particular album? Just
for a moment, is that I was just, studying, doing homework, what I do, and like looking for music to listen to, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna give Daft Punk a chance. Because, like, I know people love it. I don't really know why they say it's like, oh, it's one of the best bands. And then I listened to this album, which was their last album. It's the one that won them their award, their Emmy. 2 Emmys, I think.
Grammy.
What?
Grammy.
Yeah, Grammy. And, like, I know at least 1 or 2 songs that I've heard before. One of their songs is actually a meme as well. So
oh, really?
Like, yes. My name is Giorgio something. Giovanni Giorgio, but my friends call me Giorgio. That's a meme.
I did not know
that. That was like months ago, but yeah, that was a meme. And then I listened to the full album, and it was nice. It was interesting. Experimenting with the music, but the overall feeling that I got from the album kept me coming back to re-listen to it while I was doing the homework over and over again. To the point where, like, I sent it to you and says, like, hey, I've been addicted to this album lately. You know, I get the feeling that I get from the overall tone that they set up, the melody, some of the melody that they have is nostalgic and homely, without me ever having to experience the nostalgia of this.
Interesting.
And yeah.
So is this reminiscent of music you have listened to in the past, or it's just the feelings of the music?
No. It's like there's moments in the music where they just play something, but that something strikes feeling of the past. Even though that's not like the type of music that I listen to a lot of the past, it just makes me think more of that time period.
Interesting. So when I had never necessarily listened to like Daft Punk before, you know, and so I thought it was going to be like EDM music. You know what I mean?
Like what?
Skrillex.
Right. Yeah. That's their earlier albums.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They were mainly known for doing like party rave music. But this one they like experimented with something else. And that's why, you know, that's why they got their Emmy, because they tried something way new, did so much stuff on this. Like my friend of mine, Anthony LaBianca, have you heard of him? Or
I don't think so.
Okay, well, he's addicted to this album. And he was like telling me all of these facts about something. One of the songs that they did, like they recorded the song with like 50 different microphones from different decades.
That's awesome.
And that most of the music, or like this entire album, is not recorded digitally.
Really?
Through some method that I don't fully understand.
Yeah.
Which was more physical than digital. More practical, I should say. So, yeah.
No, I'm interested.
Yeah, I mean, don't ask me how they did it, because I don't know anything. I'm just like, hey, this sounds good.
Right.
I can't explain why it sounds good, but it sounds good to me.
Yeah, because when you mentioned you were listening to this like while doing your schoolwork, me not knowing Daft Punk, I'm like, this doesn't strike me as background music to do schoolwork. But now listening to the album, it does. Like, it seems like great background music for the most part.
It's so surprising, because most of that Daft Punk is like their techno music, and they have the technical side of this in this album, which is not my favorite part of the elements, but it works well.
It really does.
Even though they do some weird things that I don't understand, but my friend can thoroughly explain why the beginning and ending of Touch is the way it is, and how meaningful it is.
Touch was a good one. I think the one that stood out the most to me initially was Fragments of Time.
Okay.
Maybe if you're talking nostalgia, maybe that's the one that strikes a familiarity to me out of all these songs.
I don't know about that one though. Let me just take a look at the album real quick. Fragments of Time. Okay. Oh, that one. Okay, yeah. Sure. Maybe.
And then my least favorite would be Doing It Right, due to the repetition. It just got annoying.
Doing It Right. doing it right. I think so too. Maybe let me take a second on this. Yeah, it is repetitive, but I didn't really care too much. At that point at the album, I'm so focused on the homework that it's
awesome.
It's not affecting me at all. But yeah, that is the more repetitive one. Contact is the strangest one.
You know what? I was enjoying that one so much.
Okay.
Because it went in such a weird direction.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's neat.
I sometimes like this type of thing. Sometimes they really throw me off, but sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, where is this going? This is so cool.
Instant Crush.
Mm-hmm.
Did you watch the music video for that?
No, I just listened to the album.
Yeah, I did so too. But I watched the music video for the first time a couple weeks ago, and it's like, what? That's a strange music video. It's about two mannequins in a museum falling in love with each other.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
I mean, they don't move at all, but they just stare at each other because they stare at each other through the windows, and it's like, oh, okay, is that what this is about? Yeah, well, there you go.
So on a similar note about, it sonically not sounding like what I was expecting, from the get-go, there was also something else I wasn't expecting. The vocals. Similar to like when I listened to Deftones, I had heard one of their like songs without harsh vocals, and then I listened to Ohms by them, and to find out that the harsh vocals are distorted, and that threw me off, and it was hard to digest at first. Now I'm used to it. And similar to the Daft Punk, where the vocals are like filtered, or at least Daft Punk's vocals for the most part. Actually, when we got to Instant Crush, I'm like, oh, so they're going to do that with all the vocals. And we got to the next song with Pharrell Williams. I'm like, oh, they're not going to do that for everybody. But like that took some getting used to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the main ones with the modulation is just the Daft Punk people themselves, because that's their signature style of. They're technically in their story robots, and that's how they always appear in public with the mask on and the vocal modulation. So.
Oh really? Okay, fun.
Yeah.
I knew they dressed up. I didn't know they had the vocal modulations as well.
Yeah, that's their signature style of music. Is the modulation of their voice.
Gotcha. Yeah, so that was news for me. But here's something. So you may remember when I was really crazy about Poppy.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
I think it's cool whenever artists like create essentially like a gimmick that gets people invested into more than the music.
Okay.
Now, unfortunately, Poppy's put that part of her aside, and that makes me sad. And now I'm only like a fan of her music. I'm a fan of what she did do, but she's no longer doing that, and whatever she's doing now, I'm not interested in. You know what I mean? But like Daft Punk's kept this thing up for a while, and I think that's really, really cool.
Sure.
And that gets people like trying to dive into the music more and try to understand it more. And obviously, there's some casual people who just enjoy the music for what it is, but there's some people who want to
like me.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, and I'm like, nah, I won't. But there are definitely some people who are very invested and want to like invest more into the band.
Mm-hmm.
Which is also, I think, really smart and really cool. And if you're really able to do that well, I think, that's really cool, because I've seen some concepts that are just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking about K-pop right now. There's like just some concepts where I'm just like, this is just not, you're trying to do something that, I've just seen done better. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like, and honestly, with K-pop, I'm more there for the music than. But I will say, K-pop in general is really good about getting the fan to connect with the members of the group. Because sometimes in a band, so much attention is focused on like the lead singer, and so, anyways, random thoughts. But yeah, no, thank you for telling me to listen to this, expanding my mind and checking out something new and different that I had not experienced before. Also, actually, one other thing with the third track, how do you say his name?
Giovanni Giorgio.
Okay, that. There's actually one song of his that I've listened to. Not necessarily his, but that he produced of a K-pop group. And then when I was listening, I was like, "Wait a minute, is that?" And I looked it up, and I'm like, "Yeah, that's the same guy who produced that song." And I'm like, "That's so cool." So yeah, that made me really happy. So.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it enough.
Yeah, so that was a lot of fun, and so again.
Yes, I don't think I have any other albums to share with you because I'm not. This is not typically something I ever do. So
yeah,
well, it was a rare discovery on my part.
If you ever do find something like that, please send it to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
in return, I may return the favor.
Okay.
Hey, come on, like.
No. It's a fair thing to do.
Yeah,
I get it.
Because again, like I mentioned, probably was it a year ago. Like I like music, and honestly, like again, it's hard for me sometimes to listen to everything new music or sometimes music that's recommended to me. But especially, it's not that it has to be a fairness thing, but I've stepped into your world of Marvel a bit and movies a bit, and not necessarily that I want it to be evened out, that you have to step into my world of music, but
no.
It is something that I love, and I like talking about it, and I think it's fun to talk about it with you, you know?
Yeah.
So that's all. So, and yeah, so there's actually been an album that I've been loving a lot recently. Again, it's when you get to it, no pressure. It's not heavy, I promise. It's more. It was released in 2006. Are you familiar with the Newsboys?
The Newsboys.
Yeah,
I've heard of them.
Yes. Okay, this is a solo album from the bassist. It was not available online for a long while, and he just re-released it online a couple weeks ago. Have mercy, I have been so happy. So it's really good. That's actually an album I grew up on, but I did not love the album growing up on it. But now, older, I listen to it and I'm like, this is so good. So, but yeah. No, it's fun finally talking about music with you.
Yeah.
Seriously, if there is an album you're really loving, send it to me.
Yeah, I mean, my taste in music is so different than yours because I listen to more musicals and like soundtracks. You like a lot of things.
Ooh, with that thought, I'll text this out.
Okay.
In fear of my life.
In fear of your life, text it to me. I shall look and see and conquer. Like text or Discord text? What are you doing?
Discord text.
Oh, okay. Well, I sent you a link on Discord to one of the memes, so you watch it later. Let's see what you sent me. That you're trying to send to me. You're currently typing to me.
Yes, there we go.
Oh. Interesting. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, I didn't want to say it on the podcast.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that on the podcast, but that is an interesting thought. It may sound like devious stuff to you guys. It's not. It's not at the moment podcast worthy.
No, it is. So essentially, the Green Goblin came to me and said, "Hey, you want to have a cameo in the movie? Invite John. Why not? And we can go attack Spider-Man." So that's why I proposed to go.
Yeah, that's what he did.
It's pretty.
Yeah. I was confused, but yeah, now I get it. Anything else you want to say before we end today?
No, honestly, I'm really happy. We talked about a bunch of random things, and
they all mixed together very well.
Oh, very well.
And
music. Finally, we talked about music, and I'm so happy I was able to talk about music with John.
And music will return one day.
He's going to be more interested talking about music that he's interested in than music that I'm interested in. And so, for me to be able to tap into that and be able to talk about this on the podcast, that makes me
go through the millions of files that you deleted and find that one file with us together talking about music. The one line I remember is like, I know you got your style, but I hate your style. Man, I it's sad that one never got released, but yeah.
Wait, are you talking about our podcast episode?
No, my reaction to music.
Oh, that. Ooh, yeah.
That's gone somewhere.
Here's the crazy. I don't dare I say crazy, because we shot that was that 19.
Maybe 18.
Maybe 18.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me how my taste in music has evolved since. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
One of the artists I played to was Skillet. And I don't really listen to Skillet anymore. And I could talk about that, but you're not interested. We don't have to do that right now.
But if you ever find the file, just send me the file, because I really want to see some stuff I said again.
Okay. So I am moving in January in town. I'm moving in with somebody to save rent, save money on rent, but right now I actually don't know where my hard drives are. Once I move, I'm gonna be looking for them.
Okay.
And I do want to try to go back and try to find some older stuff. So
this is so important for our listeners, by the way.
Which actually, in tandem with that, I want to restart my channel by the end of January.
Yeah, how long has it been? A bit.
It's actually been since January since I've released a reaction video. I've uploaded open mic videos, but not reaction videos.
Okay, so, well, that's fine.
It will be a year since. Once I upload a new reaction video, it'll be about a year.
It's been a year since we recorded any VeggieTales.
Yeah. Are we gonna be doing that or not?
We'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, I still have stuff to release that I still haven't edited yet.
Yeah. I do personally want to wait. If we do that, I do want to wait until I move.
Yeah, or until we meet in person again.
Right. Which I would say if. No, I'm gonna say that over text. No, after we're done recording.
Yeah. I'll talk to you later about that. But yeah, anything else we want to say final before we end off here?
No, because I'm gonna forget.
Okay. Thank you guys for listening. We'll see you all next time. Bye.
Bye.